An early morning wake-up call for tenants of an apartment building when Billings firefighters show up to put out a small fire. Crews were called to 2708 2nd Avenue South in downtown Billings around 3 o'clock this morning. All tenants were evacuated and no injuries were reported. Firefighters vented smoke out of the complex. The cause and cost of damages are under investigation. Members of the Billings City Council are drafting up a mill levy that would help shrink a $4 million general and public safety funds gap. They know voters will see the levy soon, but the question is when. If the council were to get the levy on the November 2019 ballot, they'll have to move fast. In order for this levy to work, the council will have to amend the city charter, raising the cap on the number of mills generated from taxpayers. In order to change the city charter, the council will need to conduct a public hearing and approve the first reading of the ordinance on July 22nd. The advantage of bringing the levy to voters in November is that it will be a less crowded ballot and will minimize the amount the city will have to dip into reserves. Some council members want to get the levy on the ballot later in 2020. This would give more time to educate the community about the need for the levy. The disadvantage of waiting will be a much more crowded ballot, as next year is a presidential election. Council members did not make a decision last night, but the council said it wants to meet with the U.S. Attorney and members of the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Task Force to better understand the issues up against Billings law enforcement. Billings police now say a shooting involving 3 Billings teenagers at Pioneer Park was not a random incident. Lieutenant Brandon Woolley tells Q2 a 14-year-old boy, a 17-year-old boy, and an 18-year-old woman were all injured in the shooting early Sunday morning. One remains in the hospital. Woolley says all 3 arrived at the hospital in private vehicles, and all 3 are not cooperating with investigators. A Northern Cheyenne tribal member could spend life in prison after admitting he strangled a woman at their home last year. 35-year-old Randy Lee Littlebird pleaded guilty to charges of second-degree murder, strangulation, and domestic abuse by habitual offender on Monday in federal court. Court documents show Littlebird told investigators he had tied a rope around a woman's ankles to prevent her from leaving when he walked out of the room. When he returned, he said he grabbed the rope, which was now around her neck, and strangled her. His sentencing is scheduled for November 6th. A Livingston woman faces child endangerment and drug charges after leaving her 3-year-old son alone in her truck while she was in a Bozeman motel room for at least an hour and a half. Kimberly Sherrill was arrested around 5:30 Sunday morning after police responded for a welfare check on a child. Officers found the 3-year-old sleeping in the unlocked vehicle, keys still in the ignition. A search of Sherrill's possessions turned up 2 glass pipes and 2 baggies police say contained meth. The young boy was sent to the hospital for evaluation and is staying with family while Sherrill remains in jail. The man killed this past Friday night in a wreck on Rimrock Road has now been identified. 58-year-old Stephen Gardner of Billings was killed when his westbound Porsche hit an eastbound Suburban while trying to turn left onto 54th Street West. Both cars had a yellow light at the traffic signal. The force pushed both vehicles off the road and forced the Suburban onto its side. The accident closed the road for about 6 hours that night as help flight was called in to transport Gardner, and police investigated the incident. The 80-year-old Roundup man reported missing over the weekend has been identified as the victim of a single vehicle crash between Billings and Roundup. Sam O'Hannison was driving on Highway 87 south of Roundup around 10 o'clock Saturday night. Montana Highway Patrol says for unknown reasons, his vehicle left the roadway on the right-hand side, hit a mailbox and a fence before slamming into an embankment. Troopers say O'Hannison was not wearing a seatbelt and was pronounced dead at the scene. This fatal crash adding to what is the deadliest June on Montana's roadways in the last decade. According to the Montana Highway Patrol, nearly 30 people have died since the beginning of June, almost 1 death a day for the entire month. Authorities are not yet sure what caused the spike, but note that the time between Memorial Day and Labor Day is known as the 100 deadliest days of summer, and July is historically the deadliest month out on the road. As always, troopers encourage folks to follow speed limits, buckle up, and don't drink and drive. A Billings woman is still hospitalized after being shocked in Pioneer Park by a downed power line over the weekend. The line was on the ground when she grabbed it Saturday afternoon. Northwestern Energy is conducting an extensive investigation to find out how the wire ended up on the ground in the first place. A representative with Northwestern Energy says the incident is a somber reminder to always report a live wire and never ever touch it. The Montana Department of Military Affairs is working to bring the second Army National Guard campus in Montana to Billings. Q2's Jenny Fick reports.
The Montana Department of Military Affairs went public with their plans to add a National Guard aviation base in Billings.
So the project we're working on is to develop a limited Army aviation support facility here in Billings.
The facility would provide support to eastern Montana.
There's one support facility in Montana right now, and it's in Helena.
They aim to build a permanent facility adjacent to the airport, but in the meantime, they plan to lease a facility from the Billings Flying Service.
6 aircraft would be stationed here in Billings and provides capabilities on the civil side.
For example, medevac aircraft and search and rescue.
You could refer to it as an Army National Guard or a campus basically, but it would just be the limited ASF and then future another readiness center, a larger one, and probably a maintenance facility for ground stuff too. So it'd be a big impact.
A satellite classroom would be able to be implemented for remote training, as well as reducing travel time to the current National Guard base in Helena.
We do a lot of missions for the state when we're needed for fires and other emergencies, and allows our aviation team or crew members to be able to do their training here in the Billings area.
The center would be an asset to the community of Billings by increasing jobs, expanding the area's tax base, and capability of resources.
It's exciting. I think it's exciting for the community, and it's exciting for the National Guard.
In Billings, Jenny Fick, MTN News.
And Jenny tells us a lot still has to happen for this to become reality, but if all goes as planned, the temporary facility should be ready in about 12 months, and it's estimated the permanent campus would be ready in around 4 to 5 years. The USS Billings is back on the move again after it struck another ship docked in Montreal, Canada. The incident happened on June 21st, and 10 days later, the Littoral Combat Ship continued its journey on Monday morning. It left Montreal just after 9:30. The cause of the incident is still under investigation, and the ship is still set to be commissioned in Key West next month. Yellowstone County Sheriff Mike Linder will make an appearance on a hit daytime talk show today. Sheriff Linder will join Dr. Oz this afternoon as the two discuss a recently solved cold case out of Yellowstone County. The case is that of Clifford and Linda Bernhardt, who were found murdered back in 1973. It was earlier this year that the case was finally solved. The focus of the episode is how DNA and genealogy is helping to solve cold cases around the country. You can catch the episode right here on Q2 at 3 o'clock this afternoon. A new free resource is now available to offer support to Montana teens who want to stop vaping or using other tobacco products. The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services announced the launch of My Life, My Quit. It connects Montanans younger than 18 with live coaching and other tailored resources for quitting. They can reach the program by texting, calling a toll-free number, or online. DPHHS leaders say almost half of Montana high school students have tried e-cigarettes. They wanted to join this program to reach those teens more directly. The My Life, My Quit program is administered by National Jewish Health, a Denver hospital that runs Montana's current Quitline services. A Montana author has released his second book inspired by his 5-year-old daughter, Lakey Lynn Akra.
Socks are weird, socks are silly, I won't wear them, I won't go.
Lakey Lynn and the Ferocious Fit is the second book in the Lakey Lynn series. Author Ryan Akra says they plan for book number 2 after the first one proved to be so popular.
I hope that we write books that are sort of that people can relate to, and people with kids or even without that have seen toddlers can sort of laugh with the kids, and then hopefully it's catchy enough that the kids sort of enjoy it and make it part of their routine. That's really what we want, is as many people to read it as we can.
And Akra is also the author of the Sugar Beet Falls series. You can buy the books online at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or on the Get It Factory website.